following is a feature presentation of the Replay Sports Channel, the home for great games.
This episode of the Replay Sports Channel is being brought to you by Royal Retros, your ultimate one-stop shop representing the teams of the past. Royal Retros is something for you. Every product tells a unique story, and you can be sure that you will stand out from the crowd with something different. Head on over to Royal Retros today and use the discount code REPLAY to get 10% off your purchase. The link is in the show's description. Tonight, two conference contenders collide under the lights in one of the biggest games of Week 14. The 7-4 Atlanta Legends, led by MVP candidate Joe Burrow, travel north to face the red-hot 8-3 New Jersey Hitmen, winner of 3 straight and owners of the number 2 seed in the American Conference. Playoff positioning, all-star implications, heavyweight quarterbacks, Joe Burrow versus Justin Herbert. Sunday Night Football starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Replay Sports Channel's Sunday Night Football, coming to you from a rocking Falcon Core Park where the atmosphere feels every bit like playoff football already. Glenn Walker joining you from the Replay Sports Channel studios. We'll get to the game in a moment. But first, we want to take you to the state of play as we wrap up Week 14. The Atlanta Legends in second place. They are looking to take advantage of the Birmingham loss earlier today. If they can win tonight at New Jersey, the Legends will be in a tie for first place in the South with Birmingham. And in the East Division, New Jersey looking to win and take sole possession of first place in the East over the Stars. And we look at the state of play in the playoff race. Jersey currently at the number 2 seed. Chicago at 9-3 has the 1 seed. Atlanta sitting at number 5 in the National Conference, looking to improve their playoff positioning there. And now, special announcement from the WFL. We have the list of our Hall of Fame semifinalists for the class of 2026. Here we go. In alphabetical order, Jared Allen, defensive lineman. His career from San Antonio Gunslingers to the Chicago Fire, 2-time All-Star. Champ Bailey, defensive back, played for the New York Federals, the Orlando Blazers, and with Philadelphia, 35 career interceptions, 5-time All-Star. Quarterback Drew Brees spent his entire career with Orlando, 8-time All-Star, won the passing title in 2012 and a member of 2 Pantheon Bowl teams. Currently second all-time in passing. Wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald finished his career with 1,148 receptions, 83 touchdowns, and a 2-time All-Star. Tight end Antonio Gates played with the Las Vegas and Arizona Outlaws. 4-time All-Star, finished his career with 786 receptions and 50 touchdowns. Running back Frank Gore. His career spanned from the Tampa Bay Bandits to the Toronto Hitmen. 2-time All-Star. 10,174 yards, 5th all-time in the league history. 101 touchdowns. Member of the Pantheon Bowl 20 Toronto team. Wide receiver Torrey Holt spent his entire 10-year career with the Chicago Fire. 924 receptions, 77 touchdowns, over 11,000 receiving yards, 3-time All-Star. Defensive lineman Richard Seymour played with several teams: Dallas, Jacksonville, London, 4-time All-Star. Another defensive lineman, Jason Taylor, spent his career with Tampa Bay and with Memphis, 3-time All-Star. And to round out the list of our semifinalists, tight end Jason Witten played for Orlando and then ended his career with the Las Vegas Outlaws. An 8-time All-Star, finished his career with 1,282 receptions, 13,000 receiving yards, 88 touchdowns, played in 2 Pantheon Bowls. There are your 2026 WFL Hall of Fame semifinalists. The finalist list will be announced at the Gridiron Awards Friday night before Pantheon Bowl 24. So congratulations to these 8 players, and good luck to them as the league will decide on who makes the finalist round. So now as we get back to getting to tonight's game between the Atlanta Legends and the New Jersey Hitmen. 2 weeks ago, Atlanta suffered one of its most disappointing losses of the season. They lost 37-17 at home against San Antonio. Joe Burrow, a rare bad day, threw 3 interceptions just as a team, 279 total yards, and they were only 4 of 13 on third down. The game exposed some real problems and concerns offensively. Atlanta, it seemed to be a little too one-dimensional. Turnovers completely changed the game. Despite the rough outing, Joe Burrow is still having a phenomenal year. In 2020-25, Joe Burrow has thrown for 3,057 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, has a 102.2 passer rating. Potential All-Star selection. After this game, the league will announce the players who have been selected to the All-Star team. We'll have a special episode for that on our Inside Access show, so make sure to like and subscribe so you'll get that alert when that show becomes available. So in addition to being a member of the All-Star team, Joe Burrow, rumored to be a candidate for Offensive Player of the Year. Burrow is still one of the smartest and most efficient quarterbacks in the league, and one bad game doesn't erase that. Though an injury concern for the Atlanta Legends coming into today's game is the injury of 2 of their main wide receivers, CeeDee Lamb and Puka Nacua. Lamb coming into the season with 810 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns. He is their top explosive weapon. Puka Nacua with 39 receptions, 458 yards, 6 touchdowns. This will make some changes to Atlanta's offense. Defenses no longer have to fill coverage in their direction on every snap. Taking a look at the New Jersey Hitmen. New Jersey may be playing the best football of the season. They are currently on a 3-game winning streak. Again, as we said in the opener, number 2 seed in the American Conference. That defense is only allowing 17.5 points per game. Justin Herbert last week delivered one of the league's most efficient performances in that game against DC. 238 passing yards, but 5 touchdown passes. And his main target in that game was A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, 104 yards, and he was on the receiving end of 3 of those touchdowns. Once Herbert got comfortable in the pocket, the game was pretty much over. New Jersey was lethal after halftime. Running back Joe Mixon returns from injury and will definitely help add another dimension to that offense. New Jersey's defense might quietly be the reason New Jersey is becoming a championship threat. Again, first-year head coach Aaron Glenn former defensive coordinator for the Las Vegas Outlaws. A huge reason why New Jersey has improved this year. They're 4th overall in defense. They're 5th in pass defense, and they have the 3rd best red zone defense. Last week against DC, they forced 4 turnovers. They were constantly blitzing C.J. Stroud, and they created 4 sacks. The Hitmen attack relentlessly. The defense just doesn't just stop you, they overwhelm you. So some key matchups to look at tonight, to watch as you watch the game. Atlanta's strength is their offense. They have the 5th ranked pass offense. They are going up against New Jersey's 5th ranked pass defense. Will be the matchup, I think, that decides the game. Will Burrow be able to beat New Jersey's defensive pressure without his 2 main weapons against one of the league's best secondaries? So that brings up the ground game. Atlanta, they have the 5th ranked rushing offense. Breece Hall averaging only 3.5 yards per carry. New Jersey, you get Mixon back. He's in the mix. New Jersey will probably use the run game to help protect Justin Herbert. If Atlanta can't run the ball, New Jersey's pass rush will become a nightmare. Playoff implications, as we showed you in the playoff race, Atlanta trying to improve, maybe move up to a 4 seed, and that South Division to still become a possibility of winning that division and getting a first-round bye. New Jersey, they're fighting to maintain their top spot in the East and also looking to get some home field advantage. So there are playoff implications all over this game tonight. 3 keys to the game. Number 1, can Atlanta protect Joe Burrow? New Jersey's going to blitz, so watch for that. Who steps up? Who's the next man up after CeeDee Lamb will not play tonight? So another playmaker will need to emerge for Atlanta. Who will it be? And can Justin Herbert stay hot? Now, Hitman's offense becomes dangerous when it gets into a rhythm early. So the predictions, so I had to think long and hard about this, but I do think New Jersey's defense, they're playing at home, they're going to feed off the crowd, and especially with Atlanta without Lamb on the field, I think New Jersey wins this one 30-20. You are watching the WFL exclusively on the Replay Sports Channel. The WFL utilizes real NFL players and the advanced simulation capabilities of DK Sports Action PC Football. The WFL strives to create a thrilling, strategic, and statistically rich football environment that balances realism with innovation. 2 playoff contenders, 2 star quarterbacks, 1 enormous primetime showdown to close out Week 14. It's Joe Burrow and the Legends, Justin Herbert and the Hitmen, live from Falcon Core Park. Sunday Night Football is next, only on the Replay Sports Channel. Get ready for kickoff.
Welcome to Falcon Core Park. Atlanta against New Jersey. Carlson with the kick. The kick from Carlson is returned 35 yards by Burton. Carlson on the tackle. Hand off to Mixon. Mixon on the carry, gain of 4, Wise on the tackle. Second and 6. Herbert hands to Mixon. Mixon with a 2-yard run, Porter with the tackle. Third and 4. Pistol formation. Herbert glides back to pass. Herbert throws underneath to DuVernay. Herbert to DuVernay, gain of 25, Hooker on the tackle, first down. First and 10. Herbert fades back to pass. Herbert dumps it to Bateman. Herbert to Bateman, gain of 9, Hooker with the tackle. Second and 1. Signals a man into motion now. Mixon with the handoff. Mixon on the carry, gain of 2, Moenrig with the tackle, first down. First and 10. Mixon with the handoff. Four-yard run by Mixon, Mitchell on the stop. Second and 6 from the 20. Herbert calling an audible. Herbert sets up in the pocket. False. Herbert on the carry, gain of 2, Gardner Johnson on the stop. Third and 4 from the 18. Herbert from the pistol. Back to pass. Herbert checks down to Robinson. Herbert passes to Robinson, incomplete, Porter on the coverage. "36-yard try for Little. This will give them the lead. Good snap from Morse. The snap from Morse. Little made the 36-yard field goal, New Jersey 3, Atlanta 0. The kick from Little. Burrow calls out the signals. Hall takes the handoff. Hall on the sweep, gain of 3, Granderson on the tackle. They send a man in motion. Shovels it to Hall. 5-yard run by Hall, Granderson on the stop. Third and 2 from the 33. New Jersey showing blitz. Burrow making changes at the line. Burrow hands to Hall. Hall on the carry, gain of 4, Jones on the tackle, first down. Burrow from the pistol. Burrow calling an audible. Burrow sets up in the pocket. Long fly. Burrow is intercepted by certain 2, return of 24. Herbert gives to Mixon. Mixon the ball carrier, gain of 4, Autry on the stop. Herbert at the line. Tracy with the handoff. Tracy with the carry, no gain, Wise on the tackle. Third and 6 at the 32. Herbert from the pistol. Herbert takes a deep drop. Medium fly. Herbert is intercepted by Hooker, return of 0. Burrow gives to Hall. Hall with the carry, gain of 8, Jones on the stop. Hall takes the handoff. Hall with a gain of 2 on the play, Bullock on the tackle. Third and less than a foot from the 29. Man in motion. The give to Hall. Hall on the carry, 1 yard gain, Singleton on the tackle, first down. Burrow calls out the signals. He fades back to pass. Short curl to Hall. Burrow throws incomplete to Hall, McDuffie with the coverage. Burrow from the pistol. He fades back to pass. Medium cross to Leggett. Burrow to Leggett, incomplete, penalty on the play.
Roughing the passer, defense. Number 56, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
The handoff to Davis. Davis with the carry, gain of 6, Granderson on the tackle. Burrow from the pistol. Burrow drops back to pass. He throws underneath to Olave. Burrow to Olave, no gain, Bullock on the tackle. Third and 4. Burrow from the pistol. Fades back to pass. Medium slant to Sutton. Burrow completes the pass to Sutton, gain of 9, Certain 2 with the tackle, first down. First and 10 at the 40. Takes a 5-step drop. Medium slant to Samuel. Burrow to Samuel, incomplete, penalty on the play.
Roughing the passer, defense. Number 96, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
First and 10 from the 25. Burrow fades back to pass. False. Burrow with a gain of 2 on the play, Murray with the tackle. Burrow from the pistol. Drops back to pass. Medium cross to Samuel. Burrow throws incomplete to Samuel. Third and 8. Burrow from the pistol. Fades back to pass. Short slant. Burrow to Leggett, gain of 6, Newton on the tackle. .35-yard attempt for Carlson. Clean snap. The snap from Nuzil. Carlson connects from 35 yards, Atlanta 3, New Jersey 3. Carlson to kick off. The kick from Carlson is returned 24 yards by Burton, Sanders with the tackle. Herbert gives to Mixon. Mixon on the carry, loss of 3, Onyemata on the tackle. End of the first quarter, Atlanta 3, New Jersey 3. Tie score. 2nd and 13 at the 20. Herbert in a pistol formation. Herbert fades back to pass. Short out to Brown. Herbert throws incomplete to Brown, Mitchell with the coverage. Third and 13 from the 20. Pistol formation. Herbert fades back to pass. Medium into Robinson. Herbert completes the pass to Robinson, gain of 13, Porter on the tackle, first down. Tie score. 1st and 10 from the 33. Herbert sets up in the pocket. Herbert will run. Wide open field. Herbert with a gain of 11 on the play, Mouric on the tackle, first down. Tie score. Pistol formation. Herbert calls out the signals. Herbert fades back to pass. Pass in the flat. Herbert throws incomplete to Tonyan, Diabate on the coverage. Herbert from the pistol. Herbert barks out the signals. Back to pass. Medium slant to Robinson. Herbert completes the pass to Robinson, gain of 11, Porter on the tackle, first down. First and 10 at the 45. Tracy with the handoff. Four-yard run by Tracy. Penalty on the play.
Holding offense. Number 58. 10-yard penalty.
Pistol formation. Herbert fades back to pass. Throws to Brown's back shoulder. Herbert to Brown, gain of 8, Mitchell with the tackle. Herbert from the pistol. He fades back to pass. He throws downfield to Knox. Herbert completes the pass to Knox, gain of 20, Gardner Johnson with the tackle, first down. Herbert fades back to pass. Herbert throws underneath to Bateman. Herbert to Bateman, gain of 6, flag on the play.
Grabbing the face mask. Defense. Number 37. Automatic. First down.
Herbert fades back to pass. Short outside pass. Herbert throws incomplete to Brown. Second and goal from the 10. 11 play 67-yard drive. 4:27 off the clock. Give to Tracy. Tracy lost 2 on the play, Mouric with the tackle. Third and goal from the 12. Herbert from the pistol. Herbert calls out the signals. He fades back to pass. Medium cross to Brown. Herbert passes to Brown, incomplete, Mitchell on the coverage. "30-yard attempt for Little. This will give them the lead. The snap from Morse. Bad snap from Morse. But Bailey got it down. Little connects from 30 yards, New Jersey 6, Atlanta 3. Little boots it. The kick from Little is returned 29 yards by Codrington, McMillian on the tackle. First and 10. Hand off to Olave. Room to run. Olave on the reverse, 28-yard gain, Murray on the tackle, first down. First and 10 at the 42. The hand off to Hall. Hall with a 1-yard run, hand on the tackle. Second and 9 from the 41. Burrow from the pistol. Burrow sets up in the pocket. Burrow is sacked by Burrs, loss of 8. Third and 17 at the 49. Anyoku out wide. Burrow from the pistol. Burrow fades back to pass. Medium slant to Anyoku. Burrow throws incomplete to Anyoku, Bullock with the coverage. Cook from punt formation. DuVernay waiting inside his own 10. "35-yard punt by Cook, out of bounds. First and 10. Herbert fades back to pass. Fumble. Herbert is sacked by Okwuegbunam, loss of 6, fumble recovered by Lindstrom. New Jersey maintains possession. Herbert from the pistol. Fades back to pass. Herbert dumps it to Brown. Herbert completes the pass to Brown, 3-yard gain, Mitchell on the tackle. Third and 13 from the 11. Pistol formation. Prevent defense. Herbert fades back to pass. Long slant to Bateman. Herbert completes the pass to Bateman, gain of 27, Matthew on the tackle, first down. Herbert drops back to pass. Short hitch to Mixon. Herbert throws incomplete to Mixon. Herbert from the pistol. Herbert with a quick drop. Short sideline pass to Robinson. Herbert throws incomplete to Robinson.
Pass
Porter on the
interference,
coverage.
Defense, number 24, automatic, first down.
First and 10 from the 45. Herbert at the line. Tracy with the handoff. Tracy on the carry, no gain. Mourig on the tackle. Second and 10. Mixon with the ball now. 6-yard gain by Mixon. Penalty on the play.
Holding offense. Number 11, 10-yard penalty.
Pistol formation. Herbert to throw. Medium flat. Herbert passes to Robinson, incomplete. Third and 20. Herbert from the pistol. He fades back to pass. Medium cross to Bateman. Herbert completes the pass to Bateman, gain of 11, Matthew on the tackle. Bailey back in punt formation. Codrington waiting inside his own 10. "35-yard punt by Bailey, out of bounds. Pistol formation. Burrow with 3-step drop. Short sideline pass to Anyoku. Burrow is intercepted by Bullock. Return of 14. Tracy with the handoff. Tracy with a gain of 5 on the play. Penalty flag.
Holding offense. Number 63, 10-yard penalty.
New Jersey leads by 3. Pistol formation. Herbert fades back to pass. Long cross. Herbert to Robinson. Touchdown New Jersey. Little will try the point after. Little converts the extra point. New Jersey 13, Atlanta 3. Here's the kick from Little. The kick from Little is returned 25 yards by Samuel. McMillian on the tackle. Atlanta trailing by 10. Burrow from the pistol. Burrow is back to pass. Burrow is running with it. Burrow with daylight. Burrow with a gain of 20 on the play, burst on the tackle, first down. Hurry up. No huddle. Burrow from the pistol. Burrow calls the signals. He fades back to pass. Short out. Burrow to Leggett, gain of 2, McMillian on the tackle. Second and 8 at the 48. Atlanta in a hurry up. Working without a huddle. Burrow from the pistol. Drops back to pass. Burrow passes to Anyoku. Burrow completes the pass to Anyoku, gain of 3, Bullock with the tackle. Third and 5. Anyoku out wide. Burrow from the pistol. Fades back to pass. Short slant to Anyoku. Burrow completes the pass to Anyoku, gain of 12, Bullock on the tackle, first down. Atlanta trailing by 10. First and 10. 2 o'clock left in the second. Pistol formation. Burrow at the line. Burrow with 3-step drop. Short sideline pass to Cooks. Burrow to Cooks, incomplete, Newton with the coverage. Second and 10 at the 37. Burrow from the pistol. Takes a 5-step drop. Fumble. Burrow is sacked by McMillian, loss of 2, fumble recovered by Lincoln, Atlanta maintains possession. Timeout, Atlanta. Third and 12. Anyoku split outside. Burrow from the pistol. Burrow calling an audible. Burrow fades back to pass. Medium slant. Burrow passes to Anyoku, incomplete,
Pass
Bullock on the
interference.
coverage.
Defense. Number 21, automatic. First down.
First and 10 at the 30. Burrow from the pistol. Burrow calling signals. Burrow drops back to pass. Medium hitch to Cooks. Burrow is intercepted by McMillan. Penalty on the play.
Offsides. Defense. Number 40. 5-yard penalty.
Burrow from the pistol. Sets to throw. Burrow throws to Cooks. Fumble. Burrow to Cooks, gain of 3, fumble recovered by Murray, New Jersey ball. New Jersey by 10. First and 10 from the 22. 1:37 in the second. Herbert from the pistol. Herbert fades back to pass. Herbert is sacked by Matthew, loss of 5. Second and 15 from the 17. Knocks out wide. Pistol formation. Herbert back to pass. Medium slant. Herbert completes the pass to Knox, gain of 18, Gardner Johnson on the tackle, first down. Hurry up offense. New Jersey going without a huddle. Herbert from the pistol. Herbert fades back to pass. Medium into DuVernay. Herbert passes to DuVernay, gain of 13, Hooker on the tackle, first down. New Jersey in a hurry up. No huddle. Herbert in a pistol formation. Atlanta showing blitz. Herbert calling an audible. Drops back to pass. He checks down to Knox. Herbert throws incomplete to Knox. Flag on the play.
Holding. Offense. Number 65. 10-yard penalty.
First and 20 from the 38. Herbert from the pistol. Herbert drops back to pass. Long fly. Herbert with the pass to Bateman, gain of 28, Matthew on the tackle, first down. Timeout, New Jersey. First and 10. Herbert from the pistol. Herbert back to pass. Herbert checks down to Bateman. Herbert throws incomplete to Bateman, Matthew on the coverage. Second and 10 from the 34. Herbert in a pistol formation. Fades back to pass. Herbert passes to Bateman. Herbert to Bateman, gain of 1, Matthew with the tackle. Timeout, New Jersey. Third and 9 from the 33. Pistol formation. Herbert fades back to pass. Medium slant. Herbert completes the pass to Brown, gain of 13, Mitchell on the tackle, first down. New Jersey in a hurry up. Working without a huddle. Pistol formation. Herbert with a short drop. Short hitch to Robinson. Herbert completes the pass to Robinson, gain of 2, Porter on the tackle. Timeout, New Jersey, end of the first half, New Jersey 13, Atlanta 3. "36-yard attempt for Little. Clean snap from center. The snap from Morse. Little connects from 36 yards, New Jersey 16, Atlanta 3. Here's the kick from Little. The kick from Little is returned 30 yards by Samuel, Murray with the tackle. Burrow fades back to pass. Medium into Sutton. Burrow throws incomplete to Sutton. Burrow hollers out the signals. Hall with the hand off. Hall running room. Hall with a 14-yard run, Murray on the tackle, first down. Atlanta trailing by 13. First and 10. Burrow sets up in the pocket. Medium into Cooks. Burrow to Cooks, gain of 10, McMillian on the stop, first down. Burrow hands to Hall. Hall on the sweep, loss of 2, Miller on the tackle. Second and 12 from the 47. Pistol formation. Burrow fades back to pass. Medium outside pass. Burrow to Cooks, incomplete, McMillian with the coverage. Atlanta down 13. Third and 12 at the 47. Burrow from the pistol. Burrow drops back to pass. Medium slant to Leggett. Burrow passes to Leggett, gain of 10, McMillian on the tackle. Fourth and 2 from the 37. Man in motion. Burrow at the line. The hand off to Hall. Hall on the carry, gain of 9, Singleton on the tackle, first down. First and 10 from the 28. Burrow back to pass. Burrow will have to run. Burrow on the carry, gain of 9, Murray on the tackle. Hand off to Hall. Hall with the carry, gain of 2, Verse on the tackle, first down. Burrow calls out the signals. Burrow fades back to pass. He throws to Enyoku. Burrow to Enyoku, gain of 7, Bullock with the tackle. Second and 3 from the 10. Burrow gives to Hall. Hall with a 2-yard run, Karlaftis on the stop. 3rd and 1 from the 8. Sends a man in motion. Goal line defense. Current drive, 11 plays, 61 yards. 6:10 off the clock. Hall takes the handoff. Hall the ball carrier, 2-yard gain, Karlaftis on the tackle, 1st down. First and goal. Burrow pitches right to Davis. Davis lost 4 on the play, McDuffie on the tackle. Burrow from the pistol. New Jersey faking blitz. Burrow changing the play. Current drive, 13 plays, 59 yards. They've used 7:38 on the clock. They're chewing up the clock. Burrow sets to throw. He throws to Leggett. Burrow completes the pass to Leggett, touchdown Atlanta. Carlson will try the point after. Carlson makes the extra point, New Jersey 16, Atlanta 10. Here's the kick from Carlson. First and 10. Pitch right to Tracy. With a lane. Tracy with a gain of 15 on the play, Mitchell on the tackle, 1st down. Herbert fades back to pass. Medium cross to Robinson. Herbert completes the pass to Robinson, flag on the play.
Holding, offense, number 62, 10-yard penalty.
New Jersey ahead by 6. First and 20. Herbert from the pistol. Atlanta showing blitz. Herbert calling an audible. He fades deep. Long fly. Herbert to Brown, incomplete, Mitchell on the coverage. Second and 20 from the 30. Pistol formation. Herbert sets up in the pocket. Herbert throws underneath to Robinson. Herbert completes the pass to Robinson, gain of 2, Porter on the tackle. Third and 18 at the 32. Herbert from the pistol. Takes a short drop. Short out pass to Brown. Herbert to Brown, gain of 5, Mitchell with the tackle. Bailey will kick it away. 47-yard punt by Bailey, 13-yard return by Codrington. Burrow calling the signals. Burrow gives to Davis. Davis the ball carrier, 3-yard gain, Karlaftis on the tackle. Burrow from the pistol. Fades back to pass. He checks down to Davis. Burrow to Davis, gain of 3, Singleton on the tackle. Atlanta down by 6. 3rd and 4 from the 35. 3:48 left in the third. Burrow in a pistol formation. Burrow barks out the signals. He fades back to pass. Short out to Leggett. Burrow to Leggett, incomplete, McMillian on the coverage. Cook deep in punt formation. A 50-yard punt by Cook, 2-yard return by DuVernay. Brown is doubled at the line. Tracy with the transfer. Tracy with the carry, gain of 5, Wise on the tackle. Second and 5. The handoff to Tracy. Tracy on the carry, no gain, Onyemata on the tackle. Third and 5 from the 22. Herbert from the pistol. Herbert with a short drop. Short slant to DuVernay. Herbert completes the pass to DuVernay, penalty on the play.
Offsides, defense, number 93, 5-yard penalty.
First and 10. Man in motion. Mixon with the handoff. Room to run. Mixon on the carry, gain of 27, Hooker on the tackle, first down. Herbert gives to Mixon. Two-yard gain by Mixon, Vaughn with the tackle. Hitmen leads by 6. 2nd and 8. Mixon with the handoff. Mixon with the carry, gain of 1, Vaughn on the stop. End of the third quarter, New Jersey 16, Atlanta 10.
This telecast is copyrighted by the WFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the WFL's consent is prohibited.
Third and 7 at the 33. Herbert from the pistol. Herbert calls out the signals. Herbert fades back to pass. False. Herbert gets to the second level. Herbert with the carry, gain of 27, Mitchell on the tackle, first down. First and goal from the 6. Motion. Herbert at the line. Tracy with the handoff. Tracy on the carry, touchdown New Jersey. The conversion is successful, New Jersey 24, Atlanta 10. The kick from Little. The kick from Little is returned 31 yards by Samuel, Hawkins on the tackle. Burrow at the line. Burrow drops back to pass. Medium out pass. Burrow completes the pass to Sutton, gain of 20, Murray on the stop, first down. Burrow at the line. Burrow hands to Davis. Davis with a gain of 1 on the play, Verse on the tackle. Second and 9 from the 49. Give to Davis. Davis the ball carrier, 4-yard gain, Karlaftis on the tackle. Third and 5 from the 45. Burrow from the pistol. Burrow calling an audible. Burrow drops back to pass. Burrow dumps it to Leggett. Burrow to Leggett, 5-yard gain, McMillian on the tackle, first down.
Upon further review, the runner was stopped short of the first down. No timeout will be charged.
Fourth and a foot. They send a man in motion. Burrow tucks it under. With daylight. Burrow with a 13-yard run, Bullock on the tackle, first down. Hand off to Davis. Davis the ball carrier, gain of 6, and on the tackle. Atlanta trailing by 14. They send a man in motion. Give to Davis. Davis with a 4-yard run, and with the tackle.
Upon further review, the runner reached the first down marker. First down. No timeout will be charged.
Atlanta trailing by 14. Anyoku lines up outside. Pistol formation. Burrow drops back to pass. Medium slant to Anyoku. Burrow passes to Anyoku, incomplete, Bullock with the coverage. Second and 10. Burrow from the pistol. Burrow barks out the signals. Burrow drops back to pass. Burrow tucks it under. Fumble. Burrow on the carry, Touchdown New Jersey, fumble recovered by McMillian, returned for a New Jersey touchdown. Little will try the point after. The kick by Little is good. New Jersey 31, Atlanta 10. Here's the kick from Little. The handoff to Davis. Davis with the 2-yard run, Lawrence on the tackle. Atlanta trailing by 21. 2nd and 8 from the 27. 8:59 left in the game. Burrow at the line. Give to Davis. Davis with a gain of 3 on the play, Verse with the tackle. Atlanta trailing by 21. 3rd and 5 from the 30. Burrow from the pistol. Burrow calling signals. Fades back to pass. Medium cross to Samuel. Fumble. Burrow completes the pass to Samuel, gain of 26, fumble recovered by Samuel. Atlanta maintains possession. Atlanta down 21. 1st and 10 from the 44. Pistol formation. Burrow at the line. Sets to throw. Burrow throws underneath to Chubb. Burrow to Chubb, 5-yard gain, McDuffie on the tackle. Burrow from the pistol. He fades back to pass. Medium sideline pass to Sutton. Burrow throws incomplete to Sutton, certain 2 on the coverage. Third and 5 from the 39. Burrow from the pistol. Drops back to pass. Burrow throws to Cooks. Burrow throws incomplete to Cooks. Penalty on the play.
Personal foul, defense. Number 49, 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Burrow from the pistol. Burrow fades back to pass. Medium crossing pattern. Burrow is intercepted by Stevenson, return of 40 yards. New Jersey ahead by 21. The give to Mixon. Mixon on the carry, no gain, Vaughn on the tackle. Hitmen by 21. 2nd and 10 at the 47. 5:43 in the fourth. Herbert gives to Mixon. Mixon the ball carrier, 4-yard gain, Porter on the tackle. Third and 6 from the 43. Herbert working very slowly. Herbert from the pistol. Takes a short drop. Throws to Robinson's back shoulder. Herbert passes to Robinson, incomplete, Porter with the coverage. Bailey from punt formation. Codrington waiting inside his own 10. A 43-yard punt by Bailey, touchback.
Offsides, defense, 5-yard penalty.
New Jersey by 21. 4th and 1 from the 38. 4:44 in the fourth. They send a man in motion. Tracy with the handoff. Tracy with a gain of 2 on the play, Moulrig on the tackle, first down. First and 10. New Jersey working slowly. Mixon with the handoff. Mixon on the carry, no gain, Moulrig with the tackle. Aaron Glenn is in control. Herbert slow to the line. Give to Mixon. Mixon lost 1 on the play, Vaughn on the tackle. Third and 11 from the 37. Slow down offense. Herbert from the pistol. Drops back to pass. Short cross to Robinson. Herbert completes the pass to Robinson, gain of 7, Porter on the stop. Two-minute warning. A 48-yard try for Little. The snap from Morse. Low snap. But Bailey got it down. Little missed the 48-yard field goal. Atlanta trailing by 21. Pistol formation. This can't end soon enough. Cousins sets up in the pocket. Medium crossing pattern. Cousins to Leggett, 21-yard gain, Stevenson on the tackle, first down. Hurry up offense. No huddle offense. Cousins from the pistol. Cousins is back to pass. Medium slant to Cooks. Cousins with the pass to Cooks, gain of 17, McMillian with the tackle, first down. First and 10 from the 24. Hurry up offense. No huddle for Atlanta. Cousins from the pistol. Fades back to pass. Cousins throws underneath to Hall. Cousins throws incomplete to Hall. Penalty on the play.
Holding offense. Number 55, 10-yard penalty.
Atlanta down 21. Cousins from the pistol. New Jersey showing blitz. Cousins changing the play. He fades back to pass. He dumps it to Sutton. Cousins completes the pass to Sutton, gain of 4, certain 2 on the tackle. Hurry up offense. Working without a huddle. Cousins in a pistol formation. Drops back to pass. Pass in the flat to Anyoku. Cousins to Anyoku, incomplete, Bullock with the coverage. Third and 16 from the 30. Pistol formation. Cousins calls out the signals. Cousins fades back to pass. Long sideline pass. Cousins to Cooks, incomplete, flag on the play. Fourth and 16 from the 30. Anyoku split outside. Cousins from the pistol. Cousins at the line. Cousins drops back to pass. Medium fly. Cousins passes to Anyoku, incomplete. Herbert takes a knee. New Jersey 31, Atlanta 10.